How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I'm with the man himself, Boet. Okay, I look up to this guy because he is an entrepreneur. He actually, no, I'll let you tell your story. But how did you become? So he's a handyman, right? How did this all start? Like, how did this handyman thing become a thing? Tell me your story.
Okay, I was working abroad,
Ah.
and then got married, and then decided to stay at home and do some trade with some shares. And then obviously it doesn't always work out. So then I decided, no, I need to do something else. And I decided...
You were trading shares?
Yeah, trading shares on the stock market.
Oh, wow. Well, you're like investing in different companies?
Yeah.
How did that go for you? That's interesting.
I think you've got to have a background for that. I think
so you didn't have any training or anything?
No, I did have a little bit of training, but
shit.
But not the proper training. So
did you lose money?
I actually lost some money.
Oh no!
So I decided before I lose too much money, let me rather out something that I know I can do, and I can do with my hands. I don't have to sit behind a computer and try and make money. So I know if I work with my hands, I can.
Sorry, let me ask you a question. Who gave you the idea to do that, to invest in the stock market? Who gave you that? Did you just try it?
I just heard it from somewhere, and I thought, okay, maybe let me just try it. So I put some money on there, and then sometimes it goes well, but unfortunately with trade sharing, you should not hang on too long as soon as you start losing money. And I always thought, okay, listen, I'm busy losing money, but it's going to turn somewhere. It's going to turn any time. It's going to turn any time, and then in the meantime, it goes more down and more away from where your profit margins are, and then eventually you realize I'll have to sell now at a loss where you could have sold, because you got margins, where you can buy and sell. So as soon as you go over those margins, you should actually sell, because you're going to lose a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you bypass those margins, and then
because you think it's going to go up again.
You think it's going to turn. Sometimes it's going to turn, but then sometimes it doesn't turn.
And what companies were you investing in? Like small startups?
No, it was actually all money market. So it was in forex.
Currencies.
Yeah. So
I get you.
But you probably can make some money, but if it wasn't for me, so I decided to rather go in something that I know I can do, because I like working with my hands. I've always been busy in a garage, and with my background being an instrument engineer, you always work with your hands. You got to, as an instrument engineer, you got a process plant, and you got all the instruments, all the facilities on the outside. So you need communication with the levels and the pressures and the temperatures from outside to a central control room. So the operator sits in a control room, so he just watches the screen where everything's happening outside. So our instrumentation gives them all the signals and the parameters, and so we always had to work with our hands. You got to make a plan to get things to work. So I decided, no, let me rather start a handyman business. So I started off slowly, also by word of mouth, and then I started to advertise. I went to Easy Ads and put a little bit of an ad in there.
And you said that didn't get you traction, those ads.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like that you get more from word of mouth than
That's right. I've used Easy Ads because it's quite expensive, depending on your size of your ad. But then I decided, okay, I'll see how it goes, because obviously you got to try it. So I saw Easy Ads. It's not actually working.
It's not easy.
And it's not easy as they say. You easily pay money
easily
and
lose money.
Not getting anything back for it. So I decided no. I started by word of mouth. Actually, people from church, people from the running club. We decided they wanted some small stuff, so I started doing small stuff. And as you do small stuff, it actually turns bigger. And eventually, I started off by very small stuff, doing all the work myself, and then eventually getting somebody to help me, an assistant. But then you sometimes you get bigger stuff, so you have to get more people to work for you. So what I do now, I actually have I've got a database of cell phone numbers of different trades, builders, plasterers, painters, pavers.
And this is all from word of mouth as well, like all your contacts
I've
and
actually
everything.
got a friend in the building industry.
Yeah.
So he gave me, they use them quite often. So obviously they also don't keep all these people on their books because it's going to cost them money. So these people all work as a single business owner or whatever. So they work whenever there is work. So they got various people or builders or renovators or handyman has got their cell phone numbers. So whenever you need somebody, you call him. When he's busy, you call the next one. But you all got the list of about 4 or 5 of good artisans in that specific trade.
And this is just an example of how offline is still a very big thing. Like you can still build a very good business that generates you a good income without going anywhere online. I think that one reason why everyone goes online is that everyone else is doing it. There's no logic behind it. Is it okay? Is it good for your business? Is it good for the way you want to run your business? I think you always should run your business the way you want to, and not like the way everyone else is running, because that's when you lose.
And the thing is, you have to having your own business or a handyman business, you got to do quotes. So doing quotes, you need to know the prices. So that's the nice thing about online. You don't have to physically drive all the way to the shop and see what the prices are. You can go online and see what the prices are, and then you can quote accordingly. And so otherwise, you're going to drive from one shop to the other to try and find prices and to be competitive. So what you do, you go online, check the prices, and then, because if you do quote, that's not 100% guarantee that you are going to get the job. So you do quote more or less about the market value of the material you're going to use and your labor. Labor is obviously what you think it's going to cost. Sometimes that's why some people are too expensive. Their labor is too high. Because material cost is more or less the same. Some people put a little bit of a markup on their material. Some people go strictly according to the shop price, and then they make their money on the material. But it depends. What I normally do, I get my prices from the online shop, big online shops, and then if I do get the job, I would go to the shops that I know which are a little bit cheaper than the bigger shops. So then you automatically make a little bit of money on your material.
So we're saying when you get your resources to go do the handyman work, you get it from like smaller shops, not like these big titles.
Because the bigger shops has got the online where they got all the material online, so you can go to their website and you can check all their prices. You can see what's available. So the smaller companies, which will give you discount, it's also weird. Most of the big companies like Builders Warehouse don't give discount, only if you have a builder's card. But builder's card are only for builders who build properties, who buy stuff like for R1 million. You've got to have R1 million account.
You have to buy in bulk or something.
100,000. So you've got to buy in bulk. So you can only get discount on a Wednesday as a pensioner. So, and there's no counter discount you can get. You can go to other places like Bucos where you can actually ask for a discount. They give you 10% discount. So you can go online on the builder's prices, and then when you actually get the job, you can buy your stuff at Bucos, for instance, or any other place where you know you will get some discount. And then that also increase your profit margin a little bit.
So I want to ask you a question. You've been working in this handyman business for how long now?
I've been doing it for nearly 4 years now.
And do you think that this skill that you're learning, like just handyman in general, so this could be like painting or whatever, or something as simple like learning these kinds of skills, is this a skill that the youth should focus on? Like that can make them a little bit of money, or do you need a bit of background in order to be doing something like this?
I think you probably do need a bit of background.
Okay.
And not everybody, we're all different. Not everybody like working with their hands physically.
But let's say someone can because I got a lot of young viewers. So let's say someone starts their own business and they're not going to be a complete handyman. So like they're not going to go work with the pipes or whatever. But I mean they could take like a small little painting course and then they can go paint someone's house. So do you think that's a valuable skill?
I think the best thing to do for young people is to go with somebody and they can learn. You can go with a handyman.
Okay.
And then you would tell him, listen, I'd like to learn some skills. Can I work with you?
That's amazing.
And
that's
then,
good advice.
he can pay you something, and while you're learning, you can still earn an income. But the best thing is to learn hands-on. So you got to see what somebody's doing, because there's always shortcuts to take. If you know how to do something, you can save yourself a lot of time. And by people with experience normally does a thing right the first time.
And I would suggest working for free as well. Like if you're going to be working with like the number one handyman in the game in your area, it's worth like learning from that person the skills and the way he does that, providing value for free. That's the way us as young people can actually get a competitive advantage, because we're at home. I mean, we don't need to pay for anything, so why use that to your advantage? Offer your services for free for like a week or a month or whatever you can stand, and learn as much as you can. Be an absolute sponge.
Yeah, and there are places that do short courses as well. You can follow a month or 2 months or 3 months course in a certain direction or certain trade, and that would also learn you quite a lot, and you can improve your skills with that as well. So the best thing is hands-on. You got to work with somebody that knows what he's doing, and you got to ask questions, because it's no good seeing somebody doing something but you don't know why he's doing it.
Exactly.
So,
That's always interests me, like the mindset of a handyman, because you always think in the future. That's what I've noticed. Like you say, like I remember. Well, it was like it was just a weekend ago that you my dad and Boet were working together in the roof, and it was interesting because I noticed my dad would ask you a question like, "Can we do this?" And you would go, "No," because in the future, or like, whatever, you like, you won't be able to get out or something like that, or like it would block you, or something would happen, because did you have to develop that kind of thinking?
The thing is, you gotta have, you get handyman and you get handyman. You get somebody who fixes something for the short term. You just want to do the job, get out there and pay his money, and he goes. So within 2 or 3 months, something might go wrong, and then he's gone. So, or you can do something properly, and it will last, and then it will be good for your name, and people will see. But this is working; it's lasting.
Yeah.
So I always say, if you do something, do it right the first time. Don't mess it with it, and then you have to come back after a week, or you have to come back after a year.
But I think people want that, because it's like it's extra income for like maintenance fees or whatever. Right. I think that's what it is. So I think it's a bit of dishonesty as well.
Yeah, they create a problem for in the near future. So I won't work like that. I prefer to rather do the best for the client, and then he would know that in the future, when if something else goes wrong, or he knows of somebody who needs a handyman, he would refer me.
And I commend you for that, because that's hard, especially when there's like not a lot of demand. Like currently in South Africa, there's not a lot of demand, and there's not a lot of just money in general going around. So like, that's keeping that, like your integrity and like your values, that is very, very important with running a business as well. Yeah,
you will get referred, and people will come back to you.
It's common.
Where the other people will get a bad referral, and people will tell you, watch out for that guy, watch out for that company. So the best thing is do something first time right, and do it for the long term.
And when a customer says something, it means everything. Like if like one customer says, like, you can have the best portfolio, but if one customer says something stinky on your portfolio, that sticks out.
Yeah, that's the problem nowadays with social media.
We have a little game here at this podcast. It's called Fill in the Blank. Okay, so I'm gonna say a sentence and you fill in the blank. You'll get around to it. Okay, don't worry about it. It says, this is a good one. The worst mistake I ever made on a job was blank.
Was doing installing a safety glass, a shower door, where I actually needed somebody to help me, and I balanced the shower door on the edge, on the one corner, and actually the whole weight of the glass was on one corner. And the next minute
it shattered.
The whole thing shattered.
Oh my gosh.
I would have had somebody to hold it for me. It would have been so much easier.
Yeah.
But because there was nobody around,
was this the early days when you didn't have people around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Or sometimes you do a job and you think, okay, I'm not going to need somebody, but then you get into a position where you actually need somebody to help you. You need an extra hand.
And what do you do in that situation?
You probably got to ask somebody close by, listen, or the owner or the tenant of the property where you work. Said, listen, have you got somebody that can just give me a hand for 5 minutes? Because it's no good employing a guy for the whole day and he's got to help you for half an hour. So it's the best thing is to try and just find some, even if you have to pay him an X amount for his hour labor.
Mm.
But that's the worst thing that I have experienced.
Yeah, because that's like material, that's loss of material, it's loss of everything. Yeah.
The poor client, unfortunately, could claim it from her insurance. So she did not actually lose, but it just meant that we had to wait another day for the insurance had to process the claim, and then 2 days later they only came to install the glass. But then I watched them, and there were two guys. There were two guys.
And then you learned.
Yeah, I said, no, that's probably why they're doing it correctly, because they have two hands.
Fill in the blank number 2, ladies and gentlemen. You can't start a handyman business without blank. Tools.
You can't start without tools and without knowing how to use your tools.
Okay.
You got to be, you say equipped with the knowledge of how to use different kind of tools. You know, drills and sanders.
This is
a
funny story, ladies and gentlemen. But whenever Boet comes and helps and comes and like does stuff for our house, because we carry him over all the time. He always like needs me to pass him something, right? And I don't know the names. Like I have 2 left feet for hands when it comes to handyman work. So he's like, "What did you say? Pass the elbow? What?" He's like, "Pass the 2 adjustables and the elbow grease or something like that." And I was like, "What are you saying?" And he's like, "The elbow grease and the 2 adjustables, Jonathan. It's on the table." So now like I'm like trying to figure out what he's saying. So I start grabbing like random things on the table. Like I grab the cat, I grab all this stuff, like showing him like, "Is this it?" He's like, "No." But yeah, I'm terrible when it comes to that. So that I can tell you now.
You gotta know.
You gotta know what you're talking about.
You gotta use where.
Fill in the blank number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Never underestimate the power of blank.
Never underestimate the power of probably knowledge. You got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to make a big mess. That's why I said the power of knowledge. If you're a handyman, you've got to have enough knowledge to know what you're going to do next.
Okay.
And, because a client will call you and say, "Listen, this door of mine is not working." So now you got to tell him. You got to have the knowledge to know where's what's the hinges skew,
it's the hinges or the
doors sagged, or you got to tell him, "Listen, this is the problem," and then you got to tell him, "This is what I'm going to do." So you got to have the knowledge to identify the problem, and then you got to have the knowledge to know how to fix it.
I love asking people this question. If you could give the younger Boet that's just about to start his business some advice, like one little thing of knowledge, like you're just about to start and you could tell your younger self something, what would you tell him, that one piece of advice?
Okay, I would say you'd always be honest. You always got to be open with your client, and if you doubt doing something, rather tell them, "I can't do it," or "I will get somebody to help me with it." But don't tell them, "I can do it," and then you make a big mess of it.
Yeah.
Then it's not going to work for yourself and for your client. Your client wants something fixed as soon as possible, and he doesn't want to waste money. So if you can't do it, you tell him, and if you're honest enough and he will trust you, tell him, "I will bring somebody with me who can do it and who will show me how to do it, so in future that I know how to do it."
And then you can do research and you go, "Okay, how can I be prepared next time?"
I'll tell you one thing I've learned. That's Uncle Google is so nice. Uncle Google is always there. So whatever you want to do,
night or day,
you just go to Uncle Google and you put your problem in there, and Uncle Google will tell you.
Yeah.
I've done many things, even like working on my car. You've got to find some spare part. You don't know where something is wrong. So then you go to Google, and Google will tell you exactly. You know exactly what to do. Even like if you don't know how to do tiles, you go to Google, and Google will show you how to do tiles.
Well, the mic is there. This is the time where you just let people know where, like, they can find you, where, like, they can find your stuff, what your website is. Feel free to just, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, well, I've got on WhatsApp, my business is called CA Handyman Services, and my cell phone number is 083 Okay, if you're international, it's 0027 83 3441 3493.
Wait, just say that again.
It's 0027 83
3
441
441
3493.
493. I'll put that in the description, ladies and gents. What was your
And my email address
Okay.
is Boetdelport, all small letters. Boetdelport at Yahoo.
How do you spell Delport?
DEL
DEL
PORT.
PORT. Just how you say it, okay?
Yeah, Delport at Yahoo.
At Yahoo.
Yahoo.co.uk.
co.uk.
That's it.
Awesome. I'll put those two links in the description, ladies and gents. But thank you so much for going on. We have a little segment that we like to do during the end of it. It's called Rap That Rhyme.
Oh, golly.
So you don't have to come up with something on the spot, but what you can do is I'll show you the beat. It's like I'll show you a little bit of the beat or whatever, and then what you have to do is you have to write just a one-liner that you want people to remember, okay, from Boets interview, okay. So I'll play you the song now, and you can come up with whatever, but like you can name your little. It should be just like just a one-liner. It doesn't have to be an entire song, but I'll see if I can find. I'll see if I can find the thing for you. Hold on.
CA, Handyman Services, is the best out there. Go out and try them at 083 441 3493.
But you are amazing. All the links are in the description, ladies and gents. You can find his Handyman Services in there. Thank you so much for coming on, Boet. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
It was fun.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
word.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Have a good day.